Soda with the Nerds of Color. It's such a pleasure to speak with you today.
Sophia, such a pleasure. Thank you.
Huge congrats on the series, by the way. It's fantastic. And first off, I want to ask you to sort of describe or tease your character without giving too much away.
For sure. I play Josh Baker. He's an OR nurse, and he is the first person to bring Dr. Dunch's dangerous actions to the attention of Dr. Henderson, which is Alec Baldwin, and Dr. Kirby, who's Christian Slater.
And so, did the fact that this was inspired by a true story and true events affect how you approach this project and the character?
It does to a certain extent because it almost makes you take extra care in a way to make sure you're being respectful, and you're approaching it in the right way. So it did have some effect for sure.
And is there something you're most excited for fans to see from this series, or maybe a message you're hoping they receive from it?
I think I'm just excited for them to see everyone's work in it because it's fantastic. From what I've seen about half of it. But from being on set with so many of the awesome actors in the show, I'm just excited for everyone to see their work. It's been tremendous.
Definitely.
And not just the actors. I want to say, I mean, all around. And I'm not just saying this, but costumes and lighting and set designers and the props. The whole team was amazing.
Yeah, definitely. And sort of a little fun, creative question for you. If you could create either a tagline or a phrase to describe what is to come with this series, what would you pick?
A tagline or phrase for the series. I guess just quickly off the top of my head, I would say expect the unexpected, I guess.
Good one. No, that's perfect. Good one. Good one. And when you were interested in this role in this project, did you sort of know everything that was going to happen? Or when you started, getting the scripts, you sort of felt yourself shocked and chilled every week?
Yeah, I did not know where it was going. I wasn't familiar with the story or the podcast before I auditioned. So after I got the role, that's when the work started. And, and first thing was to listen to the podcast, and I couldn't stop listening to it. I think I listened to it in like a day or two.
Yeah, no. And then I also wanted to ask you, when you look back at the experience of filming this, was there a memorable moment that sort of sticks out to you that you're going to remember?
That's a great question. I think this says a lot about Joshua Jackson really quick, because the last day that I filmed, usually what happens on a set is they sort of wrap you, and the first AD kind of says, "That's a wrap for such and such actor," and everyone kind of claps. And I finished my last take, and it didn't happen. I just kind of quietly went to back to my room, and and that was it. And I'm not saying I need that tradition, but it is kind of a nice tradition. And so I went and I saw Joshua Jackson, and he said, "Oh, how'd it go? How'd your scene go?" I said, "It went great. I'm completely wrapped. I'm all done." He said, "You are?" And he like ran off, and he like spoke with the director and the first AD. And next thing I knew, they called me into the room, and everyone clapped. He's just a stand-up guy. It was real nice of him.
That's a nice moment. That really is a nice moment. And I wanted to ask you, is there a sort of dynamic that you had fun building, whether that's friendship or relationship wise with the characters, that you're excited for fans to see?
Oh, I think I think that dynamic with Dr. Dunch is what I'm most excited for fans to see, because it's the way that we know Joshua Jackson, since he's been in the public eye for so long. It's just so different than how he is in real life. And so those scenes are a real trip. I think they were a trip for me acting in them, because I'm like, once they said cut, he'd be like, hey, how are you? Like, so nice. And I'm like, you were just yelling at me, you know? So I want people to see, I think that that dynamic in particular will be fun to watch.
My last question for you is, what was that feeling like when you officially wrap, when you left the project, and then now getting ready to release it into the world?
Oh man, it's, well, that sort of connects to that story I told you,
Yeah.
when I did officially wrap, and Joshua made everyone aware, because I think, it just kind of, people just kind of missed that that was my last moment. But it was nice to get that send off, that traditional send off. And now it's just, I'm just so excited for it to come out. I mean, my family and friends have been hearing about this for some time, ever since I started filming. So everyone's just waiting, can't wait to see it. And I'm just excited for people to experience it.
Huge congrats again. I can't wait for everyone to see it. Thank you again.